wave if you can hear me? You guys are up on a big screen, so if you guys wave, everybody can see it. All right. That looks good enough to me. So good morning, everyone. Some of this will be redundant information, but some of it will be new. And we're going to keep this short. I know you don't want to be in here and listen to somebody lecture you for an hour. So on this screen, we have all the different ways to get into the system. It's a great system. Digital voice system that's worldwide. It's bridged to all the major networks. And we have so many connections, maybe 300 connections or so at any given time. And EastCoastReflector.com has all the information and a lot more than what I'm going to say to you today. So I'm just going to give a very brief early history. How did the East Coast Reflector start? It was small. Dick, like you beat to JPQ, how many of you know Dick? Just about everybody. He pretty much started. He and a few of his friends moved away from each other. They wanted to be able to continue talking as if they were talking on the same local repeater like they used to do. So this was about 20 years ago. They had IRLP as well. They chose IRLP. The system was just an IRLP network, probably 10 or 15 years or so, right, Angle? And they had repeaters that were in Western New York, Central Florida, maybe I think there was one in Michigan for and that's how it started. And Dan, Mark and Dick, they were shocked when they hit over 10 connections at one time. He thought that was just amazing that this network had grown to that size. Fast forward 20 years. Over 300 connections. Just about every mode you can imagine. P25 is coming in the future. We'll probably have M17, which, so how many of you have heard of M17? It's more than I thought. It's yet another digital voice mode, as if we don't have enough of it. And, you know, as they standardize these modes, we eventually get them on our system. One thing that I would say is a negative about having all these different modes, when I first became a ham in 1994, and you were on VHF, UHF, it was analog. Everybody could talk to everybody. Now you have DMR, D-Star, Fusion. Everybody can't talk to everybody. On the reflector you can, which is a beautiful thing. And we do have repeaters throughout the United States. In some areas, like Central Florida, have great coverage, and then there's other areas in the country that there's nothing. We have information on that on EastCoastReflector.com, and if you live in an area that doesn't have a local repeater, you can get a node, an all-star node, or talk to your local repeater owners. There's so many repeaters out there that they're great machines, they have great coverage, and they're just sitting there quiet. I don't see the point of that. And if you just mention it to a repeater owner, you might actually be interested in connecting up, whether it's full time or one of our nets, or just for certain times of the day. Now, on the East Coast Reflector, we're not the only large digital voice system. There's plenty of other systems out there. We're friendly on the East Coast Reflector. We don't have slicks. We're very welcoming to new people. We're great at answering questions. It's great to share information with people. And some of the other systems doesn't seem quite that friendly. And I think that's one of the great things about the East Coast Reflector. There's always somebody to talk to. People get out there at 3 o'clock in the morning and throw your call out. More than likely, you're going to get a response. And we have many things to do both on and off the air. We have a lot of things on the air, like the different nets that we have, which I'll get into. And a lot of things off the air. which the Zoom room here is a very big part of it. Wave, everybody, you're on screen. We have a lot of fun with it. Everybody is welcome. You don't even have to be a ham. Now, I say high tolerance. What does that mean, high tolerance? Some of these other digital voice systems, maybe have really bad audio. Maybe you get on there or your ham radio edited isn't quite up to snuff. Maybe, I don't know, just not quite following protocol just right. Something's not right. And some of these other systems that just disconnect your code and log you. You're off. You're done. We don't do that. We don't do that. We'll make mistakes. We're all new. That's something at some point. So if there's an issue with something that, let's say, it's not like a really off frequency or something like that, one of the control operators will probably get on there and tell you your audio is really bad. It sounds like you might be off frequency or something like that. Try to help you. We don't say, no, you know what? Yeah. We don't want people that are perfect. That's not us. We try to help you better your experience. We have a high tolerance for imperfections that may occur. And, I think from what I've seen, I think we're the most welcoming digital voice system, large digital voice system. So let's talk about things that we have on the air, on the reflector. So in a nutshell, we have these are the nets that we have on a regular basis. The morning brew. How many of you have checked into the morning brew? I like it. Zoomers, how many of you, by a show of hands, have checked into the morning brew? There we go. Just about all of them. The morning brew is headed by Mike, K2CMT. Any video of you guys right there. He is the gentleman, the ladies' man, the guy with the charisma, the southern charm. Yes, no, that's all I'm going to say. He's the main guy, along with we have Luke from across the pond in England, Net3MW, is Net Control at Times. I am Net Control at Times, K2SHF from Long Island, New York. And we also have some new people like Caleb, K04UYJ, and Julianne, K82BNU. And those are the voices that you hear on the air, but there's also a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Notice how easily we can switch net controls. And so the new net control can just pick up like that because we share a spreadsheet. I'll show you a screenshot of it, and also I'll talk more about that when I talk about the technique. Got Ethernet. I'll get into that too. We bridge up with Yacht, which is Yacht Manager's Communications Hand Team, and they do a net on Wednesday nights, and then we play Newsline on Sundays at 1 p.m. Just like probably 5 repeaters in everybody's local area does as well. How many people here Newsline on a local machine where you live? It's not too many. Where I live, there's probably 3 different machines into it, but we do it nice. We cut the segments off in between stories, so it doesn't get cut off in the middle, and it sounds good. So let's get into the morning brew. The morning brew net runs Monday to Friday, except holidays, and it starts at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, hosted by the brew crew. It's lighthearted, friendly. Who wants to think much in the morning? It's 7 a.m. Eastern. That's 4 a.m. Pacific time. We do have people on the West Coast that check in. Some of them I'm not sure if they haven't gone to bed yet or if they're early risers. But we get your brain turned on, get started, and we ask very deep questions, like, how do you like your eggs? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color on a car? Silly things like that. And you know, ham radio operators being who they are, talk about anything, can't we? We can just go on. And the great people that check into the morning group have proven that, because we can ask a question that most people would give you a one-word answer. Not in the morning group. We have full history. We love it. Mike, you want to say anything more about the morning group?
Some questions of the day. So, any of you got any questions of the day you'd like to have answered, please drop an email to me. I'm good on QRZ. And takes a lot of pressure off. I go to bed sometimes at midnight. No question for the next day. I don't sleep well on those nights. I don't like shooting from the hip that close. So give us a hand and send us some suggestions. And thank you for joining us.
TechNet's been around for quite some time. I would say, where are you, Henry? 8 years or so? It's been around. So what do we do during the TechNets? Well, the order of it is we have the Facilitators Announcements, which I guess we can be a little boring at times. We kind of say the same things every week, but there are new people each week that haven't heard things that we have to say. It is good information that we have to give, unless you've heard it 100 times, but it gives information on the system, and we try to keep that as short as possible. Then we do silent key announcements. Anybody from the East Coast Reflector family that's become a silent key. And does a swap and shop portion of the net. We have youth check-ins, 23 and under, which we're starting to get a few more youth. Although there's some other youth that could check into the tech net a little more often. There's net hail for people here right now. We could be around a little more on Tuesdays, but that's okay. And then we take general check-ins. And there's a question of the net. I think a lot of people enjoy this net. You know, I know we call it the tech net, and we do have a question and answer segment right before the swap and shop. Sometimes we get maybe 1 or 2 questions. Sometimes we get 5 or 6, and people get helped out. But I think the most enjoyable part of the net is the general check-ins. People like to be recognized and to say what they want to say. They'll answer the question, and then they'll talk about the weather. They'll talk about what's going on in their lives. I think a lot of people look forward to that net. How many of you check into the TechNet on a regular basis?
Yeah.
So I'd rather see some more hands than not. Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern. Give it a try. So the question of the day is usually ham radio related, as opposed to the morning brew where we'll ask fried scrambles or something like that. One thing that's unique to us, I think, on the TechNet is you can follow along live with what Net Control is doing. And usually the person behind the keyboard typing all of that is yours truly. How many of you have seen this screen, have gone to our TechNet Logger Live? A couple of you. We usually get about 22 people or so at any given time that are watching. And that's pretty good, since we get check-ins in the 80s, numbers in the 80s. Now let's go over to Zoom. I'm curious, Zoomers, how many of you guys have watched live the Logger, TechNet Logger? All right. I thought more people were watching. A little disappointed, Zoomers. Anyway, that's available also on eastcoastreflector.com. You'll see a link to TechNet Logger link. So we just recently started bridging the East Coast Reflector to the Young Amateur Communications Ham Team, and that's on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. It's for youth, so if they're age 23 and under, we have ham radio operators, age 23 and under. Nick, I don't hear you too often on that maybe, but and Rob came to UQK, and he's in this room. Let's see, is Rob? There he is. There's Rob. Rob is 23, so he's got a few months left where he gets in early on the tech nets, and he can also check into the yacht youth. And the other thing that we're trying to do is adults with third-party youth. We're trying to get youth interested in ham radio. So if you have kids, if you have grandkids, or if you have youngsters that are near you, have them third party with you. Check into that net and try to get them to third party on your radio. And if it's happened a few times, you know, if you check in, say you have so-and-so with you, and then it comes your turn, and they get a little shy, they decide they don't want to get on the air, that's okay. So consider doing that. We're trying to get young people involved. They don't have to be a ham, they can third party on your call sign. So that's the stuff that we offer on the air, both as far as nets and stuff. And of course, the reflector is always on. Get on there, throw your call sign out there. Somebody will always come back to you. There's always conversations to be had. So what do we have off the air? Well, we have eastcoastreflector.com, which I mentioned. We have that. We have the Zoom room. And looks pretty busy to me. I'll get into more detail on the Zoom room. We have a YouTube channel, which we'll get into more detail. The weekly newsletter, which is fairly new. We've been doing that for a few months. We have a Facebook group. I've already posted some pictures from Hamcation on the Facebook group. EastCoastReflector.com has a lot of information. You might even have a little too much information. It's kind of a lot at you at once, but I figured I would pick out a few things that I felt were important. Of course, there's our Zoom room link. So right there, click on that. You don't need the room ID and a password. If you click on that link, it brings you right to the room, and somebody's always going to welcome you. And I think one thing about one misconception about the Zoom room is that people think that they have to have the camera working or they have to turn their cameras on. Because I get so many excuses for people. Well, my camera's not working right now, which might mean microphone. It might mean they're really in their underwear. I'm not sure. But the truth is, if you don't want to turn your camera on, don't turn your camera on. Come in, talk to us. If somebody says to you, do you have a camera? Do you want to turn your camera on? Say, my camera's broken. I don't feel like it. No problem. I'll get into our newsletter shortly, but there's the link to it. And then the ECR TechNet logger, which a lot of people seem to enjoy that. It kind of keeps you engaged in the net, and you can see how far off, if you've checked in, how far off your call sign is from where net control is. Maybe you'll have time to run to the bathroom or something. And it's just interesting to watch. It's also interesting to watch me screw up with the pile-ups. So the Zoom room is always open. We use Zoom in a way that it's not really designed to be used. Like the fact that we have all these people in the Zoom room right now, this is not just a scheduled meeting that everyone decided to come to at a particular time. This room is always open, and people are always there. It may not be active 24 hours a day, but there's always people logged into it, and it's always going. So any time of the day or night, come into the Zoom room, see what's happening, see who's talking. And as Dick always says, put a face with the call sign. Zoom has been it's really changed the ham radio experience for me, because when you would go to a Hamcation or some kind of a swap and shop or something, you don't know what anybody looks like if you had never met the people before. And you know, now I knew what everybody looked like. You know, some people I met for the first time during this trip, I already knew what they looked like, all because of Zoom. Ask questions, answer questions. I would say this goes for the Reflector as well as Zoom. But we get people that come into Zoom, they have questions, they don't understand something about the Reflector, they want to know how to build an all-star node, they want to, whatever. We have people that come in that are not yet hams. How do I become a ham radio operator? We're happy to answer questions. And I've always been one that, you know, if I'm knowledgeable on a particular subject, I like to share it. I think most of us are like that. So, but at times I have questions myself. So, Zoom Room is a great place for that. Also, connect during the TechNet or the morning group. During the TechNet, a lot of people like to go in the main room, and they kind of have a party. So it's like a little bit of a party atmosphere, and sometimes it gets a little too much of a party atmosphere, because they check into the net, and then when their turn comes, they're not there. We see them in the Zoom room, so that they're kind of busy. But it's a fun time in there, and again, it's another way to get to know your fellow hams, and some people are flabbergasted because they see you talking on the screen, they see you holding your microphone and you're speaking, and they're hearing your voice come out of their radio, and they've never done that before. You know, for people that have been in the Zoom room, it's just another day. We've done that many times. But some people will see that for the first time, and their jaw drops. And just, oh my God, I've never seen that. I can see him speak on the morning group. So yeah, the Zoom room is 24/7, but come in during the nets. Make lifelong friends. I've made some great friends on the East Coast Reflector. People that will be probably be friends with me for a lifelong. And you know, the Zoom room got started in 2020 by Dick, WB2JPQ, because of COVID. He was, you know, stuck in his house. He couldn't do much. He wanted to be able to connect with people from home. So there's actually a handful of things, I think, positive that have come out of this whole pandemic. And the Zoom room is one of them. I don't think this would have happened without it. And we've gotten to know each other in a way that we never would have without the Zoom room. And one example of that is Rick. How many of you knew Rick, N3RRB? We lost Rick back in September, and Rick was very active in the Zoom room. He was constantly there, especially at nighttime. He was a very interesting guy, and we all had a lot of fun. And I had the privilege of meeting Rick in person when I came down to Central Florida in August. He died a month later. So a lot of us really were hit hard by his death. The Zoom room is what brought us together. So you really do you can make some really good friends on there. And, rest in peace, buddy. On our YouTube channel, I'm doing a presentation right now. This is being recorded. It's being live streamed into the Zoom room. There they are. And this will be recorded and put on YouTube. We also have presentations throughout the year, usually on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, but sometimes it's a little different. All kinds of interesting presentations. Wire antennas we had recently, K3LR story. Interesting. Oh, we did press in an all-star, how to build an all-star node, and how to configure it. And people really enjoy that. You can't be there live. Well, then we have them on the YouTube channel. Emil records them for us, just like he's doing now. And Tony over there, W2KJV, he does, he uploads them to YouTube for us. Hello, Nick. This is Nick on Nick Morning. This is, we also have cell phone breaks, so we're trying to talk. We have slideshows that Tony does every month. Every month, right? And yeah, I figured I would freeze frame it right there. Nick is holding a QRP QCX Mini transceiver that Rick N3RRB had built for him. And, oh, it looks like Nick was happy to have that. So Nick is always asking for pictures from people, and he wants people to email them to him. Whenever he gets those pictures, or people upload pictures to our Facebook group, Tony puts them together and puts them into a slideshow. The ECR Newsletter is pretty new. We've been doing it maybe for about 2.5 months or so. It's a weekly newsletter. Somehow we managed to do it every week, and they're published on Mondays. And one thing that I really like is the morning brew answers. So when we ask questions during the morning brew, we write down in the log what everybody's answers are, and then Derby Dan, KE2 BMU, will they'll tally them for me, and that goes in the morning in the newsletter every week. And it's very interesting to see. Sometimes you think a particular answer is going to be a landslide, and sometimes you'd really be surprised. And it's interesting to read that. Bob, KP3SNM, does a Mike Works column on a fairly regular basis, and I love his sense of humor. I find it very funny. We have information on upcoming Zoom room presentations, which are usually on Thursdays. Interesting articles by the ECR people. I love it when people submit articles to me. Ham radio, technology, whatever you think might be of interest to the other people, send it to me. My email is good on QRZ, and I'll put it in the newsletter. And sometimes I'll put some interesting articles from other publications that I think might be of interest. That too is on eastcoastreflector.com. So I'm going to pass it over to Emil now, and he's going to do kind of a meet and greet with all of you. And we also have a door prize, so actually we have 4 of them, where we have an East Coast Reflector shop, which is also on eastcoastreflector.com. You get a great shirt with this. You all sign up. We have different envelopes, warning programs on them. And so 4 lucky people are going to get either a shirt or a mug, depending on which you want, and you're going to get to customize. We figured instead of bringing a generic mug or a shirt to the Hamcation, that we'll have you fill something out and make it exactly what you want it to be, and we'll put the order in for you, and we'll mail it out to you. So I'm going to pass it over to Emil now for the meeting.
Hey, morning everybody. My name is Emil W. And I've been coming to these meet and greet for years now. We started off very small in the classroom down the way that we met. We used to meet over here in the what's called a block room. Now we're in this large room. Thanks to some contacts, we were able to get this room and get the time and so forth. So what I'd like to do is introduce everybody that's here. We'll just go around the room and
Morning. My name is Glenn, Alpha 4 Uniform Charlie. Eustace Slaughter.
Can for uniform Echo Whiskey, Echo Eustace Ford.
K9BAW from Grand Island, Florida.
David, KF9JF, Under Garden, Florida.
Paul, N2 OPW, Fort Myers.
Brian, KF4, KOP, Deltona, Florida. Jared, Kilo Charlie 4, Sugar Under Whiskey, Wilmington, South Carolina.
Hey guys, Joe, KM4WZD, Claremont, Florida.
Good morning, Mike Pasquale, Whiskey 1 Mike Victor Papa, Oxford, Massachusetts.
Dan, W4FW, in Sanford, Florida.
I'm Jimmy, 84KA from Lakeland, Florida.
Good morning. We all mix it. Bring up Maryland. I see it. Due to the rate collector, I've never heard of.
Steve, WP2 3K, what you
Randy, Whiskey 8 Uniform Foxtrot. Winner from Marathon Key, and Summer in Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Bearcats. Ira, KF4, CEO of Orlando.
Ed, WBAB, Orlando, Florida.
Big Whiskey Bravo 4, Echo Whiskey 0, Preston, Florida.
Bonnie, case 2 JBS. No reach.
Mike KBQ, Delray Beach, 1 foot solid point.
Row, KO4PK, Naples, Florida. Been on the reflector about 3 weeks, really enjoying this.
In the Sierra 41, 64.
Ralph, WB2DCL, spend the winter down here in the villages and the summer at a cottage on Lake Erie. I kind of get through the leaves to one of Dick's or Peters.
Bob, K4 GPM, Kilo 4 Golf Papa Mike from Windermere, Florida. And I'm going to speak because I've known Joe over there for about 20 years. I have no idea he was in here.
Mike, K2CSJ, Inverness, Florida.
Good morning, I'm Pete, KB2, TCU from downtown Orlando.
Hey, my name is McCoy. AZ from Northeast Tennessee.
I'm David. I'm Nick Sapp.
I'm Nick. I'm David's son, KO4PPD.
Steve RB, W2SGB, medium.
I am Mary, KB2QB2, Homestead, Florida.
Hi, I'm Stephen, K2EJ, from Abingdon, Maryland.
I'm Joe, KO4FRR from Sorrento, Florida.
I'm Henry, WEB4IBB from Corbin, Kentucky. I open up to that on Tuesday night. Like Michael alluded to earlier, when I stop talking, that's when all the fun starts. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, we're going to do the drawing now for the door prize, and I think we're going to have Nick, who's our youngest ham here,
2. Does everybody have a second? Is there anybody in here that does not get a second? I think we're good.
Once, 25.
Was that golf hat, Mike? What was that? What kind of a
Hey, it's US Open.
US Open hat? That's our official hat this morning. And the winner is 924004. We have a winner.
Come on down.
Is it a mug or a shirt? But choose one or the other and then customize.
Next winner, 924015. We have a winner. Winner number 3. You ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
924023. We have a winner. Final winner, last chance.
Where's my door? You don't go your own, just not doing it.
I think we know it's 924. 0, 1, 7. All right, we have a winner.
Shirt or a mug. So you choose one of those and then customize.
Congratulations. You guys just want to over Come on, the corner. Watch your steps. Oh, this way.
Did any sign it? No sign. Is there another trip? We gotta start breaking down here.